Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Corey with Mad Rat Garage. Thanks for stopping back by the shop again this week to check out part 2 of our 1966 Chevelle Crew Cab Revival video. This week we get the back brakes completely rebuilt with new wheel cylinders, new brake line, and also putting in a brand new gas tank with a little surprise on that, I guess. One step closer to making it road ready. So, thanks for stopping by. Don't forget, before we get started, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and that like button. It really helps me out a lot. Doesn't cost you guys anything. And if you're into car content, this helps me bring you more in the future and you'll be notified. So, let's get after it. All right, guys. Give you a little before. They're not bad. Heck, still got color on the hardware. But been sitting 15, 20 years. And these are bonded style instead of riveted. So I've seen old vehicles, you go to put some heat cycling into them, and then these pads separate when they get old, even though there's plenty of pad there. And I got to kind of get this stuff out of the way because we're converting to power disc brakes. So by having power brakes, probably going to end up blowing that wheel cylinder out. Again, 15 years minimum of that rubber getting hard. So I'm going to go ahead and take this all apart, change that on both sides, and put brand new shoes on. And I think I'm just going to reuse the hardware because the hardware looks brand new. So no reason, cheap as it is, but they didn't have it. I mean, I'm not waiting around for them to get it in. So looks good enough. I'll probably spray it down quick and get this swapped out, get the other side swapped out, and then change that brake hose that's right there. And we should be good as long as that brake hose is the right one. All right, let's get after it. Before I pull that brake hose and the busted brake line off, I'll have more room if the tank's up. So we're gonna get after that first. Seems pretty empty. that bad boy off. Smells like varnish. Woo! Really smells like varnish. That is definitely not empty. Help if you got the breather off. Why am I so bad at guessing if there's gas in there or not? Like there's like half full. Nice gas cap. I'm wearing it. Gas cap's supposed to have a seal. Need a set of good line wrenches. Got these line wrench crow feet. Needed them in a situation on another build. Only the crow foot and an extension could get in there. That's all I need, but I guess we'll try to buy a set sometime in the future. I don't always need them that much. It seems like I need them more now than I have in the past. Yahoo! Oh, I got that out. See, I had to take my flipping shirt off because it stank high having a gas, and I guess I got some down the pocket of my jeans because my hip is starting to burn. That old ass gas is yeah, so I'm gonna have to cut today short. Getting started, and I don't have a change of clothes here, so maybe I'll come back. Change clothes. Stop the burning.
1 hour later.
All right, guys. Got that line we busted the end off of. Twisted off. Got a new one here. Try to make this one look like this one. Oh my God, a little bender here. And a bigger bender. Should be all we need. And I'm doing it on this seat. I ain't got enough room up there. Because, you know, 2-pound box and 11 pounds of shit problems. Oh, so the one thing we try to remember to do, you know, is gotta take this all off so that we can get this over there. That way we don't start bending and then this is stuck on the wrong side and we have to cut it and reflare it. Nah, I don't want to deal with anything. You don't want to deal with it. It's awful nice of them to put these stickers on in such a way that they don't come off. Couldn't put them where this sticks together and the part that's actually on there not glued. Ah, that'd be too simple. Make the whole damn thing a sticker. And you take the coating off if you do this.
2,000 years later.
Do otherwise. Sit here for a day and a half peeling frickin' the toughest sticker in history. There we go. Yeah, awesome. I got sticker stuck inside there. Yeah. Hot rodding, so much fun. Got these nice bent ones for the front. Sure, we'll have to rebend those because then nothing ever goes the way it's supposed to. And what did I just say?
Flashback.
Oh, so the one thing we try to remember to do, that way we don't start bending and then this is stuck on the wrong side and we have to cut it and reflare it. Nah, I don't want to deal with any of that.
Meanwhile.
Papers. Can't even listen to my own advice. It's still a little. Got it straight enough. And then I put it in the vise and just kept turning it. So it'll go over. Because I'm an idiot. I know. Look close enough. Look close enough. Not bent or chewed or kinked or nothing. This is what it is. I'm an idiot. Close. Pause. That was a little fun. That's damn near perfect. Now let's see if it wants to go in. What I gotta do is turning 45 degrees at that, and then we'll like that. That had to go up to even get in there. Down, out this way, just to clear that. Then you bring it out here and turn it so it goes down a little more, but you just have to follow down, go into the original clamp, and a little whoop. And then thought I had that better up there, but then I had to bend it again to make it go in there properly. Want to go in there properly, those things never, the threads are impossible to line up, so you just got to keep tweaking and bending until it finally goes. Factory's a little nicer, obviously, but straight, whoop, little woof this way, and then back up into that. So we ain't horrible compared to factory. I just don't like that extra little whoop there, but you know what? Nobody's driving around underneath here looking at it. It's new, it's in. It is what it is. So hose is in too. New hose. Flips back on. We're all good. So then we'll just pull up the new tank and check it out. And we can move on to the front of the disc brake. Box in a box, in a box, in a box. Might be able to get around that, but that's new and different. That little nub compared to that one, we got ours on the back, which is fine because that's probably dented down like that one as I can get the lines up and over. But that looks like to me it's gonna be a problem because that is designed for a hose. Go to what? I'm guessing that means gonna have to put a hose on there, cut the neck off the old one, so that we have a neck that a cap can go on. This one doesn't have the, getting ahead of myself. 2 bags over there that came with it. Let me open those up and see what I'm dealing with there. Oh boy. All right, we're good. Getting all bent out of shape for nothing. Suppose this is our universal sending unit. Have to measure and cut the fit. We'll go over that. Just take a measurement, and this will go on the top. Except for we don't have a return. We'll plug that. I'm gonna have to get a plug for that. That's the vent. 2 new straps. Oh, there's usually instructions for the. You look hard enough, it'll show itself. Read and do my math. We can get that thing measured out. By the end of the day, I'd like very much to have the tank back done. Yeah, here's the math equation. So let me look at her quick, and I'll be back.
A few moments later.
All right, guys, sending unit. Comes with this little deal in here so this doesn't spin uncontrollably out. This gets it calibrated. Take this out and we put our floater in. But first, what we got to do, measure the depth of the tank at the place this goes in. And then we take half of that. That distance will be from here, the middle of the rheostat or the mounting point of where the float goes. So if that ends up being 12 inches, we make this 6 inches. We add an 1/8 for the gasket that goes in there. It's adjustable. If it needs to go any smaller or whatever, we can take one of the brackets out. It needs to go bigger. Obviously, it slides. If we go too low out the bottom, we got to cut the bottom off because it needs to be that low. Then, once that's all set to the height we need, we put our float in, and the float needs to be at full tilt, full. Has to be level with the bottom of this. That's what I'm gonna do. Measure twice. Set this up. Measure twice. Set this up. Measure twice. Cut whatever I need to cut off. Pretty simple. I didn't mention yesterday when we took out that other tank. That tank tried to kill me, guys. Either I'm getting old and my skin is really sensitive, or that really, really old gas that was in that tank is toxic waste. Because I had to go. I had to go fast. Threw a towel on my seat. I drove all crooked, so I didn't get gas on my seat in my car. And I drove home, and I took my clothes off, and had this big red welt on my side. That stuff was trying to kill me. I washed up, I hosed out all my clothes so the house didn't smell like gas, and so when I put it in the laundry, it doesn't smell like gas. Sat outside and I hosed it off, let it dry in the sun, and yeah, we got fresh clothes today. That being said, I'm done with killer tank. Time to fix up the good tank. Let me show you a little something about this. I've used these tanks before. They're pretty dang good tanks. And guess who they're made by? That's right. Tanks. Tanks Inc. I believe they're powder coated. I'm not sure on that. One I used before wasn't. This one looks like it is. What we did on this for the future people that may or may not love an inline 6 is this is the fuel injection tank. And what that means, that's why there's 2 openings instead of just one, because if we'd have got just a normal one, it would have just been one opening, sending unit, the whole bit. This will allow in the future somebody to put an in-tank pump in, and if you look in there, it's baffled. Got a nice baffled deal to keep the gas from flopping around and leaving the chat for fuel injection while it's sucking so fast, because they suck pretty, a lot of them, 100 gallons an hour. You're constantly flowing. Yeah, that's just a little future availability if somebody wants to LS swap this, or if they just want to put an in-lane tank in-tank pump in for a higher horsepower small block, and they want to get away from the mechanical fuel pump. So we'll leave them the instructions and put together a little folder of what parts we put in here, so that it's just easy for them. They can they may have to run larger line than we're running, because I'm just leaving the 6-cylinder line in here, but the tank itself be ready to be updated. All they have to do is run different lines, and you gotta drop the tank and put their in-tank pump in, and then run different lines. Good to go. Wasn't much more to do that, and that tank there is not in that bad shape. But how long are we going to take cleaning that old ass gas out and hoping that it's good and hoping that it don't stick later and cause problems later? Where I think these tanks are like $250. I don't know about you, but I could spend 3 hours cleaning that sucker out and putting it back in, and for under $300, my time's worth something. So, new tank. Here we go. We'll call that 6 9/16. 6 5/8. 6 5/8. 3 7/16. Yep. Yeah. So what we're gonna do is this bracket that goes through here. These are the set screws to make this slide up and down. They're also screwed in here. And we're going to take that bracket out and then replace it with this one. Will slide into its place. Gotta be careful. We're going to end up cutting this until we get our exact deal. So hopefully we don't have to cut it. Hopefully we can just bottom this all the way down out and use these set screws here. All I'm doing is taking these screws out. Right. Got it cleaned up, and now it's messy. Tell you something about my mess. I don't have anywhere to put everything. The minute I clean stuff up, I'm like, oh, I'm going to keep it clean. Then I find something I need to move that is in the way, that doesn't have a place, and isn't got a place to go. And I end up moving it to the place I just cleaned, so that I can do something somewhere else. Probably not. Never get that lucky. That one did. You guys hand me that wrench over there? Thanks. Good guess. What size that is? What is that? 9/30 seconds. Good guess, guys. That was a good guess. Two things at once. Boy, somebody crank hold of that puppy on there. Hand me that tape measure. No, it's over there. Thank you. What do we say? 3 7/16. Do the math out loud. 6 5/8. Make that fraction divisible. 6 10/16. Half of 10/16 is 5/16. We need to add an eighth. So 2/16 is an eighth. We had 2/16 of 5/16, that's 7/16. So half of 10/16 plus an eighth. Half of 6 is 3. Got 3 7/16. Whew, balls. That puppy is gonna be short. Lord. Shorty. Has to be there to there, the center of that. Call that. That puppy needs to come up here. Good Lord. Shorty. I'm gonna cut that off there. Battery for my heat battery for my death wheel. Now, guys, if you don't know anything about me yet, I like to do things on the cheap if I can. Or Cable's a good name brand. It's not the best name brand. It's a good name brand. Or Cable. Cordless. 20 volt. Right. Well, I went to an auction that had, and I go to a few auctions. Went to an auction where they had a bunch of shop stuff, brand new in the boxes. They're selling a bunch of shop equipment and different lots of stuff, and they had boxes of this and boxes of that. And this came up with no battery. I think I paid $10 for it. This came up, no battery. Paid $10 for it. And then battery charger and 2 batteries came up. And actually, I got 2 battery chargers and 2 batteries. They had several lots. I mean, they had, I don't know, 10 of these things. And I should have if I was smarter, because it was the same with these. You bid on them, you won, you can take as many as you want. I'm like, I only need one. There's a bunch of people that wanted them, so I was being nice. I should have just said I'll take them all for $10 a piece, for crying out loud. But I got that, and then the batteries came up, and the charger with 2 batteries sold for $20. 2 chargers with 2 batteries, $20. So I got 2 chargers, 2 batteries. We'll call it a charger and 2 batteries for 10. This for 10. That's $20. 2 batteries and this and a charger. $20. I had them for like 5-6 years. He used the crap out of them. If you can't tell, these things, I mean, they're thin, right? But I keep them on the charger all the time, and I don't use it very often. So 4 batteries would get me like, I don't know, 2 hours worth of cutting nonstop. This battery will cut through almost anything. Get about 15 minutes of nonstop with the battery. Half hour of using it if I'm like doing something else, come back later, doesn't get heated up. That's been your I'm a cheap ass minute. But I like deals. It's fun getting a deal. It's fun getting something that you use and you're like, man, I didn't pay shit for that. I like it. Sometimes it bites me in the ass. On my little holder over here I made years ago. I'll hold them with a battery in them, which is good because when I put them away, which is good because when I hang it up, I put the battery on the charger. Now I've got to charge the battery. I'm never guessing. I've got a belt sander disc combo deal. I'm gonna go ahead and clean that up over there. One day I'll take you for a little tour of my shop when it's not so embarrassing to do so. But for right now, this is just my little cubby hole I got set up, and it's not completely set up. But I got my little bandsaw back here, and I got a little belt sander, disc sander combo deal from Eastwood. Works really good. Shout out to Eastwood. If you like sponsor me, feel go ahead. But these are not paid advertisements. I'm a nobody. Nobody's paying me squat. Nothing to that, guys. Could have done it with the flap attack. It ain't pretty. It's going in a gas tank. But take the edges off of it, run them over, so I don't hurt myself, and that it'll slide in and out of this easier because there ain't nothing grabbing it. Try this again. Got a little issue here. I believe in this way, and hitting that. I can move. Let's see how close we are. Twist it. Oh, crazy is I'm only going to have one room for one screw in this thing. There is no pressure or anything like that on it, so that is exactly 3 7/16. Nothing hanging out the bottom. That's how they want it. Look at the little guy. Part that sits in the fuel, just like this. Doesn't sit this way. It sits sideways. It's dangling down in the fuel. So we have to turn it, face the bottom of the tank. I'm gonna say that boy right there. This would be about where the gasket tank and the tank, so technically it'll end up not ever sitting at the full mark. Adjust that, but this will have me enough room. Don't want that resistor to move into a different location. So rheostat. It's not a resistor. Rheostat. Yeah, they show in the picture that that arm needs to be hitting this, and that's full. Well, it's full. That'd be right about there. Give her a little snuggy. I'm gonna make sure. Oh yeah. Empty. Gas in, putting gas in. Whoop. Full. Actually, we'll go about there because the top of the tank, whoop, go about there. That's perfectly lined up where it said this needs to be. Put that down there so it's a little bracing. I can crank on this and it won't move. Go. We are good to go. That's a tiny little guy. Tiny little feller. All our gaskets and everything. And then I use this. This is old school. Been using this stuff for 30 plus years. And just call it Indian head. We used to always just call it either Indian head or gas shellac. And it does say that right on there, so I'm, not just paraphrasing. It's the best stuff for gas wicking. So if you're using anything that's a gasket against where gas is going to get sloshed or put, I put this on the metal of the tank, and then I'll put it on the bottom of the sending unit, and I'll probably shellac the gasket. That way when you made them together and it seals up, one, you don't get fumes. Two, that gasket material sometimes it's cork. It's watertight. You have to cork it. But you smell the cork out of a wine bottle. Still smells like wine years later because it got soaked into that cork, and that can be a wicking that can come through. So you put this on, it's a little barrier, keeps it from doing that and getting underneath between the cork and the metal. It's just an extra protection and it works. Cheap. I mean, I've had that bottle for, 10 years. If I can get it open, sometimes the lid gets shellac shut. With a pickup tube, we'll do the same shellacking on that thing. And then that. I want to make sure we got the right one and everything lines up. There's only one way these go in. Look at looks like it's uniform, but actually these two are closer together than the rest. So can't line them up there. Those two line up, but the rest don't. Only way it lines up. Gotta get my shellac opener. Ooh, I might have to buy a new shellacker. No, it's coming. I need new shellac. What do you think? Well, Dad nabbit. Getting late. It's about 7 o'clock at night. Time I run over there and get more shellac and then come back over here. Closer to 8. I guess I gotta go get shellac in the morning. Tomorrow night I'll have it. Here's what it is. Welcome to Hot Rod. Where all your best laid plans are squashed into, well, you think you're going to do what in an hour? About 3-4 hours. Well, you think you're going to get that part by tomorrow? Tonight? Next week? We'll see. All right. See you tomorrow. All right, guys. Just a little public information announcement, I guess. Went and got a new bottle, and as you can see, it is no longer called Indian Head. Probably because some soft-handed little yuppie complained about cultural appropriation or some crap. So, same stuff. Not called Indian head. I've never known what it was called my whole life. I've called it that for 40-something years. It's been Indian head. So I asked him at the parts store, where's the Indian head? The what? Yeah. I got to drive back there. I know the guys over there. I got to drive back there and show them this. They think I'm crazy. So that's it. Just so you can see. I'm not going to go through it. It's a lot mushier. Not as suction. A lot less dried out. So go ahead and shellac that stuff up and get her going. If you're looking for it, don't ask for Indian head. Ask for shellac compound. They still won't know what you're talking about. Still made by Permatex. Permatex. Good stuff. Keeps the stink down, keeps the leaks from happening when you're dealing with gas. All right, so what I do. Try not to make a mess. A little on here, so just go where the gasket goes. Draw it out. Black. Super thick. Check that. Black. Doesn't take long for it to tack up. Pretty tacky to start with. Next thing I got to do, I only need one of these. So I'm going to put a barbed end plug on one, or a barbed end on both, and then rubber plug one. One's a return line once you do the fuel injection. And this is a vent tube. There's one on the tank. I don't know why there's two. So, but the crisis is finding those first. Let me go look at my bin. Oh, I have some barbed fittings in here. Don't know if I got any that big. That little guy. There's one. Kind of a style, isn't it? Plug, but I think that's the... Ooh. Ooh. That might be what I was looking for. Looked small. Looks good. There is. Alright. Work. Oh, it's kind of nice. Showed you anybody this before? Dark in there, but carb bin, tons of holly, carb gaskets, other gaskets, power valves, pump gaskets, tons of different brass fittings for all different types of occasions. for different carburetor end fittings, leftover butterfly plates, more end fittings. Not super organized. I'd say I'd organize it better, but too much of one and not enough of the other. So these are just a couple of rebuild kits that I leave sitting on top. There, and then this, carb base gasket. Miscellaneous gas from kits over the years. You don't always use, they give you 3 or 4 different types of gaskets. You don't always use, that one doesn't always work, this one doesn't always work. You have these left over. Store these over the years. And may or may not have what you need for quick down and dirty repairs. Check all stuff. Power valves. Tons of gaskets. No, I did not collect all these. I collected probably a quarter of what's in there. I was at auction of a performance place that was going out of business, and that box, this box, were just marked carb parts. Okay. Oh, I bid on it, and I won the whole shebang for like $25. And I tell you what, them gaskets that are in there, blue ones, them puppies go for, if you go down to O'Reilly's or anybody, I don't know if you get 2. I know for one, like $19. I had probably 3 or 4 from over the years. There's probably another 15 or more in there. So that alone was worth it. A bunch of brand new power valves. There's stuff still in Holly packaging, packaging in that box. Little miscellaneous stuff. So I mean, as I've had that for 2 or 3 years, I guess. 3 years is when I first got down here to Florida, but I've redone a couple of carbs, or had a couple of carbs that had some issues. I went to clean them, and then I'm like, let me checking that thing, and sure enough, I always found something in there that worked. So it was a score, in my opinion. It's already paid for itself. Need to go through and really, it'd be nice to organize it. It'd be nice to, at this point, because I've added a bunch of my stuff to it. Nice to get a bigger one or another case similar to it. Really organize it better. But it's close, Brass stuff's over here, the carb inlet's over here, the gasket's over here, little miscellaneous stuff's all around. I love to be organized. I am just not good at staying organized. You guys like that? No. Down below, what's your organizational problems or habits are? Even if you're a OCD organizer, I'd like to know about that too. Because, boy, I hate my situation. I never find time to rectify it. When I do rectify it, within a week it's back to what it was. It just is what it is. Anywho, so we got those parts, which is good. I don't have to buy those tomorrow. Figure out what we got to do to cut those inlet and outlet tubes. I just take one of them off, the one that I'm going to plug. Leave that in the bag of goodies for the next person. And the other inlet tube, gotta figure out if I gotta. Surprised there isn't a sock that goes on there, but I suppose it's designed for a electric fuel pump to go on there, which already has a sock. Have to run a separate fuel filter, and I got one. Run that come off the tank into a 10 micron. Good to go. All right, that's it for now. All right, guys, a little update. Hard to get at this when it's up in the car, so if you're gonna ever remove the tank again, you ain't gonna get at these first. And if they're tight, you're never going to get it low enough to get them off without cutting them. So put a weather pack connector on it. I'll do the same in the car. This is the vent tube that's going to go directly to the factory venting. So don't need this. Second vent, you just cap that. Got a plug here for the return line. If anybody ever wants to use it, they can pull that out and plug in return line. Just cut the fit to the bottom. Hose will go right on there. Got it all gooped up with the shellac, and put it up in the car. And then I'll make the ends for the ground and the sending unit once the tank's up. That way I can kind of make it fit nice. Next move, put the tank back in. Tank's a little bigger than the old one. Pretty sure. Fatter. They gave you longer straps, which need to be stretched out. Use this to see down there. Not bending. I gotta be massaged into place. I'm just being smarter than the average bear will get it done. Easy to push up, manipulate that bolt head. Lowest setting. Protective felt strap. Both sides protective felt. It's not metal. The old one, reused it, but the suck that. A little bit still there that it can suck down, stretch it out, get it into place. But new straps, new tank. Now it's time to plumb the lines. Alright guys, this is a finished product. This is the factory vent tube for the tank. So we got new line. Runs up to that vent that's on the tank, not on the fuel pickup tube. So we got a plug on the return line, we got a plug on the vent for the pickup tube, and then we have the fuel line coming out. You can see there's a new fuel line. Ran a nice low micron filter there from MSD, I believe it is. Might be Mr. Gasket. That goes into the fuel line, factory fuel line. And then this is for the sending unit. Like I mentioned, I put the weather pack connector on there. Run the ground and the sending unit line. And that'll stay out of the way. I'm gonna zip tie that probably up there just so it's a little more less bouncing around. But she is officially done. That'll probably finish it up for this video. Guess there's gonna be a part 3. Stuff takes so long, and I try to get these videos out at least weekly, and it's not happening. So bi-weekly, that's really pushing it, just with the amount of time I got to work on them. So, and trying not to keep them long, you know, hour-long video. I'm learning how to edit and to try to cut out a lot of my blabbering. I go back and look at it, and I'm like, yeah, this is, you know, this is me being me. But it ends up being a really long video when I do that. So,
cutting out some of that stuff. Only thing left we got to do, getting started, but I ain't gonna be able to finish it for this video. So is we're gonna get that converted over to the disc brakes. And the next video will just be probably a shorter video because there's not much to it. Maybe just do a quick tutorial on converting it to disc brakes, what it takes. And this applies to the 4-door or the 2-door. It's all the same. So any of you guys out there looking for, how to convert your 2-door Malibu to discs, this will be the same. So that being said, appreciate y'all coming back to check out what's going on in the shop. And if you would, much appreciate it. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, that like button. Doesn't cost you nothing, helps me out. And if you want to see more content like this, you'll be notified. So there's that. Trying to get better at the videos, trying to get better at the editing, trying to get better at cutting out the long-windedness and just sticking to the stuff, and that's important, and figuring out our place in this YouTube world. Again, I'm not an expert. I just play one on YouTube. Just a guy who loves hot rods and everything to do with classic cars and cool cars and anything cool. And yeah, the next video will just be finishing up the disc brakes, taking it for a spin. And we'll take you along for a test drive. So, thanks again, guys, for stopping back. So that'll do it for this week, guys. Don't forget, though, don't wait for your hot rod to be perfect to enjoy it. Do it in stages. Do a little here. Take it out and enjoy it. Back in the shop, do the next thing. That way you get to keep the wheels rolling, keep yourself motivated, and keep that hot rod on the road. Till next time, guys, keep wrenching.